we continued to work on sex trade events right through from 2016 to 2018. At the beginning of 2016, the Law Reform Institute published a discussion paper on amendments to the Births, Deaths and Marriages Registration Act, which was effectively a way of implementing self-ID legislation. A member of the Women's Liberation Front here in Tasmania, Tessa Ann, wrote a submission to the then Anti-Discrimination Commissioner, Robin Banks, outlining her concerns about this options paper. It was, the paper was titled Legal Recognition of Sex and Gender Diversity in Tasmania, Options for Amendments to the Births, Deaths and Marriages Registration Act 1999. Tessa Ann wanted to meet with Robin Banks because she was very dissatisfied with a lot of the definitions and the explanations in the paper. So she arranged to have a meeting with Robin Banks and her policy advisor, Lisa Wagner. During that 2.5-hour meeting to discuss the issues and ask questions, Tessa became very distressed and was very unhappy with the way that she had been treated. This was an event that would reach the Australian press. It was 2 articles were published in our national paper, The Australian, by Tasmanian journalist Matthew Denham, basically saying that Tessa had allegations of bullying, intimidation and ridiculing by the Anti-Discrimination Commissioner and the policy advisor. So I think it's indicative that, you know, even the people at top levels in institutions and government so-called anti-discrimination agencies are prepared to apply the very tactics they've been put in positions to prevent. And I think it's also sends a big statement that legislation is not the answer to a lot of issues concerning women's human rights, that it is cultural change and very profound cultural change that needs to occur. And that is why we now have this groundswell of activism amongst women, spreading word in the community about exactly what that cultural change means.